I'm Briana and welcome to My Life on Paper. Welcome back to Scraptember with the Scrappy Sisters. Today's prompt is family. Welcome to Sketch Sunday where we all use the same sketch. Today's sketch is by an original sketch by Moira, who is a group of the Sketch Sunday girls. Um, okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about Counterfeit Kit. It is a community on Facebook as well as a blog, and I am just in love. My friend Tara is one of the master foragers, and she really runs the thing. And I'm going to do my best to do it justice and explain what it is. The first of the month is posted an inspiration kit, and you can follow it as closely or just use it for whatever kind of inspiration you want. So I did. I grabbed out all the colors and some embellishments and some stamps. Now I haven't even used the stamps, but that is okay. The other thing is I was listening to one of Tara's, and I'll have Tara's information listed below. She's the paper snob. She gave permission, like if you need to pull something else into your kit, totally fine. I've already done that. So when it came to this, I love this sketch with all the layers, and I kind of was lost as to where to go, or I just didn't have the inspiration, or whatever it was. I have an iris kit of just blue kind of papers, and I thought I'll just go there for inspiration. Well, what I found was a paper pad that was where I pulled some of these papers from, which reminded me of my kit. So I went to my kit, and that is all I needed. These papers are all from my kit that I put it together at the beginning of the month. I have made a couple layouts before this with them. And what I like to do when I'm doing this video is a little bit longer in that I showed you how I picked out the papers and everything. What I like to do is grab the scraps first, the smaller pieces, to see, do these work? And you could see me moving around some of those pieces. I've got this map that I wanted to stick in there, but I didn't want it to kind of melt um, into the background paper because the background paper is white. Maybe melt isn't a good word, but I wanted it to stand out from the white. So by doing it horizontal, I felt like it stood out better. I'm going to take this little piece of blue, I'm going to fishtail banner it, and I'm going to keep moving around the pieces until I feel like I've really got the sketch, the inspiration, the way I want it to with my picture. My picture I'm using is when we went white river rafting a year ago, August, so in 2023. And it is all of us after. It is my three girls and Nick, who is Jillian's fiance, who they're getting married this weekend. And we all look drenched, which we were, but you can tell it was quite the adventure. Eliza was afraid she was going to die. We were all wearing helmets. I was going to say she did fall the boat. She was going to say how she was knocked around. There was no concussion. We all survived. We all have smiles on our faces. Quite the adventure, and you'll see that in part of the title later. And once I get all the papers that I get the papers down like I want them, then I will worry about the embellishments. And the kit that I put together does have some embellishments, and I do go into my regular stash and pull out a couple more things. I liked the map because we're a couple hours from home, and it was an adventure, and it was a trip. So that's representing that. That was something that was pulled into my kit on a different layout earlier this month. And as I'm getting all these layers situated and where I want them and ripping them and all those good things, I'm thinking about the background. In my kit, I actually have one mixed media. It's a Vicky Booten already done mixed media page. And I'm thinking, would I want to use that? But I'm looking at this thinking it would all be covered up. So I'm leaving an open mind so far, and not wanting to bring in the Vicky Booten mixed media, thinking that I could do my own mixed media. So here is this piece of paper. You can see the two fishtail banners sticking out on either side. It would be very easy to take two small little scraps of paper and put one on the left side and one on the right side and measure to make sure they're even so it looks like one cohesive piece of paper. But when I have a little piece of paper like this and I'm trying to use my stash, I like to just leave it all one piece, cut that fishtail banner on either side, and then sneak it behind so that I don't have to worry, does it look like one piece? Because it is one piece. I just have to get it kind of straight. And I just remembered that by the time you see this on Sunday, Jillian and Nick will be married. So I will have many, many pictures from that, but I am still working through last year's pictures. I like to mix it up, so I'm not afraid to one day do, pictures from last August and then tomorrow do pictures that I've just taken. So you might see some sprinkled in. Very exciting. Okay, back to the page. Now that I have all the papers where I want them and the size I want them and the location I want them, I'm going to go ahead and glue them all together. Um, I'm not gluing them to the background because I'm still making my choice if I want to use this white paper, if I want to put some mixed media down, what I want to do. So I'm being careful to get them nice and secured so they can move around but not separate from themselves. I really like my ATG. It gave me a couple of problems I had to stop during this video. But it's more of a user error. Um, the refill wasn't clipped down nice into the um, ATG gun, I guess you call it. So once I fix that, I'm good to go again. Oh, and I might as well mention here too that, oh, here comes the paper. Okay, wait a minute. Hold that thought. Uh, this was in my in my kit, and I like that. It's not necessarily too busy, and you're only seeing that little bit. It's almost like it's framed, right? Because you've got the middle pieces, and then I'm using this background paper, and I have so many patterned papers that this really makes me happy. I certainly, have a lot of white paper, but it just makes me happy to use up some of these background papers. And I really like the way this turns out. So I do go into, these are 49 Market, and they were what I put in my kit for the counterfeit kit for this month. And I really like those butterflies because it's got the green and blue on it. And you can see that's just a lot of green I have going on there. That scallop border I've used on a couple layouts this month, so this is the rest of it. Put that in there, matches the colors. This is from my Mad About Mini Paper Pads layout. I had just a little scrap left, and I made some tabs, and it matches, so I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to make a couple clusters. I've got the cluster with the tickets in the left upper corner. I've got the butterflies in the right lower corner. And now I found this journaling bit. That's Creative Memories, and it has a hashtag on it. It was part of a travel kit, I guess you'd call it. And so I'm going to make those my 3 clusters, and I will get a title on there because you can see up on the right upper corner it says title and journaling. So then I'll just pull out these things. And once I've decided I've got enough of the green, I do go into, I think I pull out my blue color box, and I don't take much out of there. Um, and I don't know when I'll pull that out, but I do go into my Scrap and Happy Studio Flare, and I'll just get one. Oh, here we go. And I decided I don't, they're nice. It's nice and big. It says noted. It's the perfect color. So I'm going to put that next to my journaling spot. But I right away, I was like, I do not need 3 of these because my mind always goes to get 3. So I have the photo. You can see the 49 Market, the bright green photo that's a circle on the right-hand side. Then I went, and this is right on my desk. It's Control Alt Delete. It's the right color. Control Alt Delete um, to me kind of means like stop or redo or get out of here. And I put it right next to Eliza, and she would tell you she'd never go whitewater rafting again. It was level 3, I think, raft. Maybe it was 4, but anyway, uh, there was half of us got thrown out of the boat. They had to rescue us. They did a lot of training beforehand. I don't believe we were ever at risk. She was the last one in the boat, and she was not a happy girl. But the rest of us, I think, would go again in a second, and we'd probably also be smarter about the whole thing. But we hit a big rock, and everybody was ejected, and they did their best to get us back in the boat quickly. So fun memory for me, maybe not so much for Eliza. So I am just going to get some things glued down. I do use my Barely Art glue, the liquid glue for some things, and my ATG adhesive for others. The smile is from American Crafts. It's nice and glittery, and I like the way it matched, but I also, there was a couple different words, like adventure was one, but there's a little green piece that I'm going to put onto the journaling spot that says little adventure. And I like that little adventure because again, I think if you told Eliza it was a big adventure. Um, but I felt it was pretty perfect and I didn't want to double up on the adventure. Here's where I struggle because I put the title down and so it took less area away of where I'm putting my journaling bit. And when I put this down, when I put the right bottom cluster down, I felt like those two are on top of each other too much. So, and then I moved the journaling bit, but it's kind of angled at the same direction. Well, here I try to get it straight because it was angled at one point at the same direction as the bottom, and that looked goofy as well. And so now I'm going to try to tuck it up into oh, here, this is where it's going to go the same direction. That doesn't look right to me at all either. So I'm going to leave it tucked up into the title, but I'm going to straighten it out. So the top one is straightened out, the butterflies are at an angle, and in my mind, that looks better than having them going at the same angle. It's kind of wonky to me. I'm going to get that flare down. And then the smile, like I was saying, it just fit good because we didn't want to be, it's not like we love this or anything because even though we have smiles, oh, there's fabulous. Um, I don't think it was Eliza's favorite. So we've got smile. That works well for everybody. And then they also have stars on those sticker sheets. So I'm going to pull a star into each cluster for a visual triangle there. So I've got my stars as a visual triangle, my circle bits as a visual triangle, my clusters as a visual triangle, and that makes me happy. So I think that might be it. Oh, no, 49 a market arrow. I thought that was good. It was out of my stash, so it was just good to use it and then have to put it back into my stash. All right, check out everybody below that's playing along with Sketch Sunday as well as Scraptember and the Scrappy Sisters. And I add one more piece of paper there over the tab, and I thought I'll just put the date on there. I will also have the counterfeit kit community linked below with the group, etc. down. That will be linked below, so you can check that out. If you have any questions, please let me know. I love hearing from you. Otherwise, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and see me again soon.